5 minutes ago, Jim Davidson destroys Keir Starmer on live TV, leaving him in tears. It was a typical rainy Wednesday in London, but the atmosphere in the studio was electric. Viewers tuned in, their eyes glued to the screen, as the highly anticipated showdown between comedian Jim Davidson and political leader Keir Starmer unfolded. What began as a routine political interview quickly morphed into an explosive exchange that would leave audiences on the edge of their seats. As the camera zoomed in on Davidson, his trademark grin faded, replaced by a serious demeanor. "Keir, we need to talk about the royals," he said, his voice steady but laced with an undercurrent of challenge. The mention of the royal family sent a ripple of excitement through the audience. Everyone knew that this was a sensitive topic, especially in the wake of recent events surrounding the monarchy. Starmer, seated across from Davidson, shifted uncomfortably. The royal family had been under intense scrutiny lately, with rumors swirling about internal strife and potential scandals. Davidson leaned in. "You've been avoiding the question, Keir. What's your stance on the monarchy's future? Are you ready to lead a nation that might want change?" The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. Starmer hesitated, his eyes darting momentarily, perhaps searching for the right words or fearing the backlash of a misstep. The studio audience held its breath, and viewers at home felt the tension mount. Would Starmer side with tradition, or would he risk alienating a growing faction that called for reform? Just as Starmer began to gather his thoughts, Davidson struck again. "Let's not forget the headlines, Keir. The royal family is in chaos, and you're just sitting on the fence. Have you seen the latest polls? People are talking about a republic." The mention of polls sent shockwaves through the studio. Davidson's words ignited a firestorm of curiosity. Could it be that the appetite for change was stronger than anyone had anticipated? The audience buzzed with speculation, and Davidson seized the moment, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "What will it take for you to take a stand?" Starmer's face flushed, and a flicker of frustration crossed his features. "This isn't just about politics, it's about history, heritage." Davidson interrupted. "History is written by those brave enough to change it. Are you brave enough, Keir?" The cameras captured the moment perfectly, the tension palpable, the stakes higher than ever. Davidson leaned closer, his tone softening unexpectedly. "Look, I understand the weight of this. The royal family means a lot to many people, but what about the future? What legacy do we leave for our children?" Starmer's defenses began to crumble. The mention of legacy struck a chord. The audience could sense the emotional shift. This wasn't just another political debate, it was a plea for honesty and integrity. "I want to protect what we have, Jim. But I also want to ensure we're not shackled by the past," he replied, his voice trembling slightly. The vulnerability in Starmer's voice caught Davidson off guard. Had he gone too far? The question lingered, would this emotional appeal change the course of the debate, or was it just the beginning of a deeper confrontation? Just when it seemed that the tension might ease, Davidson dropped a bombshell. "What if I told you that there are whispers of a major royal scandal? Something that could shake the monarchy to its core." The studio erupted in gasps, the audience leaning forward, eager to hear more. "What are you talking about?" Starmer shot back, his composure faltering. Davidson smiled slyly, knowing he had the upper hand. "I can't reveal all my sources, but let's just say there are discussions happening behind closed doors that could change everything." The uncertainty hung heavily in the air. What scandal could possibly be brewing? Would it involve a member of the royal family, and how would it affect public perception? The questions multiplied, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, hungry for answers. As the segment drew to a close, Davidson leaned back, satisfied with the chaos he had stirred. "Keir, you have a choice to make. Will you stand with the people and be a voice for change, or will you remain a puppet of tradition?" Starmer's expression hardened, but the vulnerability lingered in his eyes. "I refuse to be boxed in, Jim. The future is uncertain, and I will not shy away from that." With the clock ticking down, Davidson's final words echoed in the studio, a powerful call to action. "The nation is watching, Keir. Choose wisely." As the credits rolled, viewers were left with a whirlwind of emotions and questions. What would Starmer do next? How would the royal family respond? The suspense was palpable, setting the stage for the next chapter in this unfolding drama. And as the camera faded to black, one thing was clear: the royal family's fate, and Starmer's political future, hung in the balance.